Okay, so the idea here, obviously, when you compare this to the red-black Anvil deck, this is, this is something I've been kind of cautioning you against, right? This is a slower version of the deck. This is, it's got a slightly higher mana curve. It doesn't have the reach of the burn spells, but it does have reach with not only the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek combo, but you also have Time Sieve to actually take infinite turns when you're making a lot of Thopters. If you can make 5 Thopters a turn and you have Time Sieve, that's infinite turns. And so I know that usually when you see Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek paired together, you have Urza. You have Urza to truly like just go infinite immediately. But I think that if you play Experimental Synthesizer, you straight up do not want 4 drops in your deck. Lord of the Homeless, 7 months. BJ Smith, thank you for 7. And so the idea is that Synthesizer is not only good with Anvil, but also good with Thopter Foundry, giving this, another sack outlet for your Synthesizer. Very, very natural fit here as well. It's also kind of interesting that Oni-Cult Anvil, this is something that one of our fellow Twitch users here, one of our fellow chatters, pointed out that if you sack Anvil to Sword of the Meek, then it gives you a 1/1 that triggers a Sword of the Meek, which is kind of interesting. So there's a nice bit of overlap here with this interaction. I think Engineer could also like grab you your Anvil, you can grab your Time Sieve, obviously your Sword of the Meek, and we have one Academy Manufacturer as like a more value Engineer target when you're going off with Cauldron Familiar. Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar and Ravenous Squirrel are also 1/1s that trigger Sword of the Meek, which is not super relevant, but is like a little relevant, right? A chest with the 23 months. I don't think I missed anybody. Yell at me if I did. How about Emery? You could play Emery, but you'd have to suggest what we're playing it over, and I think that we're gonna probably run this version for now. You do incidentally get Giganta as a companion, which is kind of nice. You are playing more lands compared to the Anvil deck because our curve is higher, but I think with only 1 3-drop and then mostly 1s and 2s, and I think the synthesizers are still going to be pretty good. And that's definitely like synthesizer is a very good card, but it definitely has pretty heavy restrictions. I missed you, Dugala. With no sub badge next to the name. But thank you for the sub, Dugala. Thank you. Is one Academy of actually better than have Lurrus' companion? I don't know. I feel like the maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I was thinking this morning that you wanted the manufacturer like pretty badly for the Time Sieve combo. But in my earlier drafts, I had like the I was a little bit more in on manufacturer. Now I'm down to like just 1 engineer. Joss, thank you for the tier 1 for 6 months advance. Appreciate you. Who won the PTQ on Sunday? I don't know. I was like completely unplugged from Magic yesterday. Rashik, 38 months. Alright, we'll play the stupid Lurrus. No, it's gotta be right to play the Lurrus. We do have a spot to fill. Yeah, my earlier drafts were more in on the manufacturer. Or Wellspring. I think with Synthesizer you don't need Wellspring as much. I'm kind of inclined to maybe play like Time Sieve was like pretty good at my testing. I was kind of thinking maybe you want a 3rd copy. Yeah, another drum is pretty interesting too, but I feel like that's too many mana sources, especially when we're cutting a 3-drop. I think we have 2 drums already. I know manufacturer's pretty good, but let's just ban Lurrus, alright? Let's just ban Lurrus, and then we get to play Manufacturer in this deck. Gingerbread's not good in this deck without, like, cranial plating and stuff. No Emrakul on the board? Might be good to play an Emrakul on the board. Yeah, we're a lot less aggressive than the other version. Let me tentatively add that. We do need a card. We just need a card in the main deck, too. Impact Trimmers, that card is like not close to being playable. I mean, or you could just play Disciple in the vault instead. How's this deck matchup against combo big mana? Not very good. Which is like, like you have your own combo with Time Sieve, which is why I'm kind of inclined to play the 3rd Time Sieve in this like flex spot. But admittedly, the Time Sieve combo is pretty slow, so it's like I was kind of thinking like sometimes you can like Time Sieve, just grow your squirrel lot, attack twice. One needle main. Yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like adding the needle to the main instead, and then that helps a lot of our combo matchups. Then we can add Emrakul to the board. Extra sword. I think two sword, 4 engineer is pretty good. Yeah, but combo big mana is definitely not exactly what you want to see. However, I heard that there are a lot of death shadows in the PTQ over the weekend, so I'm kind of expecting the meta to shift down a little bit more towards fair decks as opposed to what we were seeing last week. Oh yes, Kolagon's Command, the perfect addition to every deck. When you side in Emrakul, are you okay with not having Lurrus that game? Yeah, against Mill, you only board it against Mill, right? And against Mill, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare for you to go for Lurrus just because of how, like, the games are not usually that long. They're usually about pressuring your opponent rather than going for value. Okay, now just imagine I did that whole deck tech, except we also say Lurrus is broken, and you should probably just play it. Yeah, I did have a nice weekend. Very refreshing. I don't know about this hand. One's playing a Lurrus deck. A mulligan, I think. Okay, I like this hand. When you slide an Emrakul, do you bring in Lurrus? Well, it's only for Mill. You could do that, though, yeah. There are 100 people that spend like 5 times per game, they make us pay. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, Box. Like, this, we had this conversation about Raid, you know, probably a little too often, to be honest. And I do concede that, there are the fact that they don't pass my vibe check, the fact that I think things are a little weird and fishy is maybe not, I may be wrong about it. You know, I'm just a dude expressing my opinion that Raid is weird with the amount of money they spend on advertising. But if it's working for them, it's working for them. More power to them. Let's not block to play around Ren and 6 ping. More power to them. Alright, we're going to want to draw any 1 power creature. Mishra's Bauble. Alright, let's just cast the Anvil this turn. If we have to sack the Time Sieve to Anvil next turn to get our Sword of the Meek going, it's not the end of the world. Modic, 3 to 4 months, appreciate ya. Did I see you're playing Energy this weekend? I am, yeah, I am. I don't know what I'm playing, though. We're going to try to figure that out. I think I'm leaning towards Band Control, Boros Stoneblade, or Red-Black Anvil at the time of making this comment. To be fair, people don't hate artifact cards because they're not top-tier meta. I don't know about that. Like, Hammer Time is definitely top of the meta. I mean, I know that Stony Silence is also, like... that's a big part of it. It's like, Hammer is, like, the premier artifact deck still. And Hammer very much is, like, not weak to Stony Silence compared to other hate cards. So I think that's probably more of the reason. But yeah. Like it doesn't matter either way. It's like right now, like, you should not expect to run into a Stony Silence. If you do run into a Stony Silence, you're a little unlucky, and it's okay to get a little unlucky. It's okay to get a little unlucky and run into it every once in a while, I guess. Can you sign my forward if I see you? No body parts, but I'll sign cards. Udok, thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate you. Is Think Twice a Blue-Eye Control good now? I love Wafu. I have a lot of respect for the man. Think Twice is, not in my opinion, not the best play. Okay, so it looks like they are going to be able to assemble Renin 6 Beseiju. Not sure how good that's going to be when I have Lurrus going. Do you think the time for Stony as the sideboard cover is coming back? I mean, I think it's fine. Like, there are a decent amount of artifact brews out there. I don't think that playing Stony Silence would be like a really egregious thing to do. Yeah, they should besiege you on their turn, because now I'm going to get an Anvil token. Yeah, I think it's fine, but like there aren't a ton of decks that get to play it. Is also the kind of the thing. It's like 4-color Omnath could play it, and Blue-White Control could play it, and that's kind of it. I think I should go for Lurrus Engineer for Thopter Foundry. You want to fetch before casting Lurrus here, so if they have a removal spell, they could kill you the Lurrus before you get to cast your spell off of it. I could also potentially grab another sword and just try to like Time Sieve value. Because I get the other sword back immediately, but I'm gonna get the Thopter Foundry. I have 2 ways to recur the Foundry with Lurrus and Engineer as well. What's my favorite card to sign? Jade Avenger for sure. Oh, I also will not sign any reserve list card. I don't know, maybe I will. Not sure why some people have trouble accepting sometimes you have bad matchups, skipper first, sideboard for everything. Yeah, that's a point I've been trying to hammer in a lot lately because I'm playing so many brews like this one, so many like decks that are weak to a lot of hate cards. That's always been part of Modern's identity, is that you are like, you have decks that are like more fair, mid-range aggro control, and aren't as weak to as many sideboard cards, and you have decks like this that are more synergistic and are particularly weak to some sideboard cards. And that's always been part of the identity. And I think because like I tend to play more like fair decks than unfair decks, that I think a lot of people on the chat are not as used to playing decks that are just weak to sideboard cards. But you can still beat them too. It's not like you just fold when someone plays one of them all the time. Thoughts on Expedition map? Keep Saga Train going. In this deck the Saga Train's not that important. Saga's mostly like a Witch's Oven tutor that sometimes, you know, gets you some extra value. Okay, Assassin's Trophy. I'm actually out of basics. So I'll try to fetch more Shocklands going forward, I guess. But let's go cast Saga. Cast Saga. Cast Oven. They have Besage up. So I'm gonna try to like win through Besage here by going give back Thopter Foundry, sacking Construct. Then I'm going to sack Sword of the Meek, and then my opponent is going to respond by Besageing my Thopter Foundry. And then I can go make a sack Oven, make a food token, then sack the Witch's Oven to Foundry 3 times, then cast Time Sieve and combo and win the game, I think. So I do have one more land to get off the Besage You, and does enter untapped. So now we let this resolve. Get the Blood Crypt. Get the token. Cast Time Sieve. Sack 1, 2, 3. Oh. 3, 4, 5. Take an extra turn, and I just get to engineer back the Thopter Foundry, sacking the Thopter token, and I get to take infinite turns. I can bring back Sword and Cat. Oh yeah, that was probably better. I mean, this wins too. This wins too. But yeah, that was a little better. Okay, that was pretty cool. I liked that. So I want the needle for the Wrenn and 6. I'm gonna cut the Shadowspear for Nihil Spellbomb, and then I don't like know that I really care that much about Alpine Moon. I guess if they're on Elvish Reclaimer, they're gonna be a bit more in on Moon on Saga than like Jund Saga usually is. Probably could take a second Time Sieve for a Alpine Moon. Any Boros Stoneblade this week? Yeah, we'll probably play some. I'm heavily considering Boros Stoneblade for the NRG in Chicago this weekend, which I'm going to. So, spending some time playtesting, it's probably fine. I'll probably cut my own 4th Saga, because they're probably bringing some hate. I'll play 2 Moons. And then I'm gonna use the question real quick. Does Needle Besage You work like it does? I don't think so. I think it only affects cards in play. Maybe somebody can let us know. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I don't even remember Synthesizer being in this hand. But I'm going to go cast Ravenous Squirrel, cast Bauble, and then if they go Rin and 6 ping, I can sack Bauble to save the Squirrel, but my current plan is to save the Bauble to trigger both Squirrels. This feels a bit clunky compared to the black-red version. It is, yeah. But I do think that there are some interesting ideas here that the black-red version doesn't have access to. That I am interested in testing, which is why we're playing it. I did do some testing off stream, and it was powerful. I do suspect that the black version is better, though. I agree with that. Or the black red version. But like you saw last game, like the combo potential is pretty powerful. You know, Engineer is a pretty strong card in this archetype. Biv with 19 months, appreciate you. 19 months with no Endurling Ideal. Sad, sad, sad indeed. Clock with the 22 months, appreciate you. You're good at cheap and strong modern deck for MTGO. I'm sure someone in chat can tell you. Like Burn is probably your best bet. I think Burn's a pretty good deck right now. But there may be a better like popular deck that's more budget that I'm forgetting about. Okay, so that makes a Lurrus that I could go for here worth. Engineer's also not looking that good on this board. Yeah, Scales is pretty good too, for sure. Expecting Hammer, Shadow, and Titan. Cool, let me take a look. Just Guide Control. I've tested the Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor is fine. It is also like much worse against matchups where like creature combat doesn't matter. Let's try a double block here. We're pretty behind. I think we gotta get a little lucky. Oof. Actually, not the end of the world, to be honest. Okay, let's cast Lurrus and then see if they let me cast a spell off Lurrus or if they're gonna pop one of these without getting a card. Yeah, I haven't liked the Wandering Emperor. I would play like the second Jace or the third Teferi Hero or the first Memory Deluge. If you don't have that, you have one. Yeah, I would play a different Planeswalker in that spot. I'm not sure which one. Okay, they only have one card in their hand. If they don't have any removal, I know that's a pretty big if. We could potentially crawl back from this. I also, like, I know this is more of a 3-color deck. I really like March of Otherworldly Light, especially, like, yeah, I feel like I would be on, like, 3-3 split here, even with the 3 Fire Ices, and then just not main decking the Dress Downs. I know that main deck Dress Down's good against Shadow, or good against Hammer Time and Titans. Not very good against Shadow. And like Dress Down, I think should be more of just sideboard card in general with this deck, anyways. Okay. Hold on. Let me take this turn real quick. So I can go. I can cast whatever I get off of Engineer with Lurrus. I think I should just Synthesizer first. Into Synthesizer is kind of awkward. So does Anvil save me? If I go Engineer for Anvil, cast Anvil, I go down to 3, go up to 4, have a chump blocker, have 2 chump blockers. Is Wanderer better than Settle? Neither card is better than Verdict. I don't know. The Wanderer, I haven't liked the Wanderer. If you guys like the Wanderer, or maybe like understand why it's better than I think it is, that's fine. But my current impression of the card is pretty bad. I guess I could get actually Nihil Spellbomb of my own. It's kind of a more of a desperate play. I think I'm not gonna shock 2. And I can attack with my Lurrus. Yeah, so I think I like -2 Gust Down, +2 March, -1 Ending. Or you can maybe play 4 Ending, 3 March. But I'd also like to see like second Jace over Wandering Emperor. And then I don't love the Ganjo, I don't love Colonnade. I feel like I like the Awatora. And Ganjo's fine with triple Mistigate, but it definitely has its cost. And I'm still would rather play like second Hall of the Storm Giants or like anything honestly over Colonnade. I just really am low on it. I like the sideboard a lot. I would probably want to play like third Rest in Peace. Maybe over like third Typhoon, second Explosives. You also don't need necessarily 4 Spreading Seas if you're playing all these marches. You can maybe cut these entirely and play more vetoes. You could maybe go -4 Spreading Seas, +1 veto, +1 or +2 veto, +1 Rest in Peace, +1 Explosives. It could be an interesting option. Or you can maybe just play like 2 Spreading Seas at the sideboard. You like an extra march at the sideboard too. I know there's so many ways to go. I'm honestly like a little stuck with blue-white as well. Those are just my thoughts. Okay, so now we pop this, then they can sack the Blast Zone, kill Synthesizer to make all of these 2-power creatures. Right? 2 power, artifact, land. It's not so bad. I'm trying to think if I block with Engineer. I think I will. I've heard of Wander with Ice Fang, and that is hot. What's the combo there? You just get to play a flash deck. Is that it? Summer Dismissal? I don't know, man. I'm not a believer. I've never been a big Summer Dismissal believer. Wow, they don't have anything. I didn't really peg them as not having anything. I think I'm going to start off by going Engineer, bring back Spellbomb, sack Synthesizer. We find an Oven. It's an interesting hit. Then we cast Synthesizer off Lurrus. For Eclipse. I think I'm casting this Engineer and I'm failing to find. Or just say no. Good versus Tron and Titan. I mean, it's not that good against Titan. I mean, I don't know. It's so fine against Cavern, I guess. I would rather play Subtlety. Yeah, if they pop the zone on instep, we're still alive. I can Nihil Spellbomb their graveyard, and the Goyster are just 1/2s. Although maybe it was good. I probably should have used Engineer's ability though. I should have used Engineer's ability because they're just gonna get an artifact in the yard anyways. Actually, yeah, they might take it up to 3. That's a good point. Maybe Engineered finds a home in red-black. Goblin Engineer. Oh, in the red-black version? Well, I mean, Engineer is like a lot worse without Sword. You know what I mean? But Sword is pretty good with Anvil, and then I think that once you're like this is I don't know. Yeah, this is what you would be playing. I don't think so. It's like, so I got a little stun luck there. But it's like if you're playing Engineer, you're playing Sword to go with your Anvils. Like the natural next step is to play Foundry, and like at least the first time, like it's just exactly this list. Like you know, I don't think you play it in just regular red black. I'm gonna block, so I'm not dead to an instant speed removal spell. Make a food so you have an artifact in play. Well, to make a food, I have to sack one of my Engineers, which I don't really want to do, because I'm gonna like chump block with one potentially, and then I want the other one in play to activate. No blue cards in the board. Yeah, they're not in the sideboard. I'm not sure what the point is. Okay, so let's go Synthesizer first. Hit a drum. And then we can go Engineer for Sword of the Meek. Squirrel, get back Sword of the Meek. Cast Drum. Attack with Lurrus. Attack with the, no, I need this Engineer to activate. Can you switch Scroll Package for a Cookbook Asmo? That's where we started with this whole deck idea, but I found that the Witch's Oven Cauldron Familiar is better, I think, than the Asmo package. I know that the Asmo package is a little bit better with Time Sieve, exactly, but Cat Evan's better with Thopter Sword. It's also like just better in general, I think. Like, it's early interaction, it's better against Ragavan, it's cheaper, it's harder, it's actually pressuring your opponent. It's better with Ravenous Squirrel, and it lets you have Lurrus as a companion. And I don't think that you can play both. I've tried both. I think it's a little bit too much. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go block. And then I'm going to get back Nihil Spellbomb, sacking Springleaf Drum. Could have sacked the Synthesizer. I think Drum's probably a bit better. And then these currently bounce off each other. This jump blocks. I can take 3. Did you ever get the Academy Manufacturer deck where I liked it? No. This draft was started off as an Academy Manufacturer deck when I was playtesting it on Saturday. And I liked Manufacturer in the list. It was fine. But it took up a lot of slots, it made you play more lands, and I thought that 4 copies of Manufacturer with Synthesizer was just too many. So this morning I cut down to 1 Manufacturer as an Engineer target. I was pretty excited by it. And then chat was like, wait, shouldn't we just be playing Lurrus? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Because we should just be playing Lurrus. And that's where we're at. Okay, so they have Besage You. Oh, they have Kolaghan's Command. So we discard a card and then deal 2 damage to Lurrus. Okay, which I think we're just taking. My opponent might be dead, though. Yeah, let's go. Get back Oven, I think. Sacking Synthesizer, triggering Squirrel, up to 4 power. I can make the Squirrel at least 6 power here. Oh, that's gonna do it. Alright, 2-0 Jun Saga. I think I'm keeping. Am I getting Steam Vents? I think I'm getting Steam Vents. Can't you just exile their land and kill the Goyf? Oh, kill the Goyf that the Squirrel blocked. Yeah, I guess I should have done that. Sorry. I was thinking I could only kill the Goyf by targeting myself. Can we just add Sword to red black? I don't think it's good. Yeah, you can add it. Okay, playing against an affinity variant. Just gonna engineer for another sword, I think. Could also get Anvil. Anvil's kind of good. Anvil's pretty powerful here. Let's get the Anvil. We have a sword in hand. If we draw a land, we get to go sword, sack sword, get Anvil. But I guess we don't get to trigger the Anvil immediately, so maybe we get it a little later. Do you think Kappa will find a home in Modern? No, because it's not Modern legal, and I don't expect them to make it Modern legal. A lot of people seem to think it is, though. Yeah, let's just cast the sword here. Any thoughts on the red, white, black channel lands? All the channel lands are good and playable in Modern. It's not really any deeper than that. I think none of them drastically change any decks, but they help you not flood out. It's not really any deeper than that, I think. The opponent's draw is bad. Ours is kind of stumbly too. Oh, dude, we drew second sword. Okay, so we're gonna get Springleaf Drum here. And then, I'm trying to think if I cast the Synthesizer. It's a bit awkward. So my options are Thopter Foundry, SICK Sword. I can also go switch Sword for Anvil. Then play Oven, sack Oven to Anvil, get a token. Oh, I can also go cast... Oh, no, sorry, I can't... Sorry. This is tricky. Let's just go for the safe line, especially when they're stumbling. Obviously, Thopter Sword without a lot of mana is not that good. It does get more powerful with Anvil, and they just concede. Okay, well, found the line, I guess. Beardsley, 2 months, appreciate you. Found the line, I guess. I guess Needle's good for cranial plating. I think I probably want to cut the Time Sieves in this matchup for like 1 Pyrite Spellbomb. I probably want to get at least 2 moons in here. Could cut a Springleaf Drum. Could cut a Synthesizer on the draw. Let's do that. I think 1 Treasure Vault could be okay for situations like this where you need Goblin to get another land. It's an interesting thought. I think that it probably doesn't come up enough. It's also like Treasure Vault's pretty awkward when like you have so many colored spells and you already have 4 Saga. But I don't hate the thought. Okay, opponent lulls the 6. Since your Thopter Sword deck isn't actively good for this deck to have more lands, 20 seems like really, really low. Well, it's 20 and 2 Springleaf Drums. And, like, that's 22 sources in a deck that curves out at 2. You know. And I know that, like, ideally you would want more lands. But, you know, you also have, like, a lot of card draw in this deck with Bauble and Synthesizer. And also, like, how can anybody even trust Fran when he suggests adding more lands to your deck? What are his motives, I wonder? Who's he working for? Alright, very good draw from my opponent. Gonna play my own Saga here, and then Needle my opponent's Relic. Play a Familiar. These tokens, the construct tokens, be pretty bad for us, especially if they get a Shadowspear on them. Yeah, happy birthday to everybody in the chat, apparently. Could see cutting second Time Sieve for a land. You could, yeah. I mean, I think I really do want to like naturally draw one sometimes. Like naturally drawing them has won us like 2 matches already. It's like a lot. Your combo matchups and your big mana matchups get worse without them, and they're already pretty bad. So I'm gonna name Witch's Oven here. Wait, they're not making a Saga token this turn. I don't know if that's good or bad for us. My cats are a lot worse now. Oh no, dude, Urza Saga is the worst card in Modern. I just. Every time you put an Urza Saga in your deck, this is the only outcome. Okay, let's go ahead and kill the Midnight so they can't make a token off their Saga. Urza Saga is just the worst card in Modern, I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'm gonna try this without Saga. I don't know, maybe. I am worried about like not being able to assemble Cat Oven. Like Cat Oven feels a lot weaker without it. I'm mostly just complaining. But I don't know, man. Like we've been playing a lot of Saga decks lately, and like Urza Saga has been like more popular in Modern than it's ever been, right? And you know, part of a consequence of geez, what a turn. Saga Nettlesis Thought Monitor. Sheesh. But yeah, but part of like Saga being so popular means just everybody's so ready for it. I just keep getting crushed by it. I gotta say I'm also like super dead to just moving over here. Cut Saga, add Imri. Well, I think I'd probably play Ragavan over Imri. Oh, they didn't equip. And maybe I can go Sword, sack Anvil. It's a flying token. No, sorry, it's not flying. Yeah, let's just go to game 3. Yeah, Emery also loses Lurrus. Yeah, sorry, obviously. Not even a real convo. Okay, I want this 4th synthesizer back in on the play. I think I can cut a drum. I think I still was gonna stick on 2 moons. Love this hand, so we're definitely gonna go Squirrel on turn 1 into Springleaf Drum, Witch's Oven, Familiar. Emery does what Lurrus does? No, it doesn't, because Emery's not a freaking companion. What are we talking about? Yeah, you also have to untap with Lurrus, which you don't, or Emery, which you don't with Lurrus. But, you know, it's just, you know, I know that it's boring. Yeah, I think we still hold the second scroll for now. I know that it's boring. Everybody's so sick of Lurrus. I'm sick of Lurrus. But it's also like when it's like Ragavan and Lurrus are both very good in this deck, and Ragavan and Emery will both be fine in this deck, and then oh, dude, they just concede to the Squirrel Oven? Golly, that was a fast concession. That was a fast concession. This might sound, I really do not want to sound sarcastic. Like if we disagree, like I think that Ragavan would be better if we were gonna try to play a different creature here, which I don't even think that we're going to. I don't think there's actually room. I think you do need the Sagas. But if you were gonna cut the Sagas and like cut the Saga targets and play either Ragavan or Imri, I think that Ragavan is better, and like if it's like very close between the two of them, where like you always cast Ragavan on 1, Imri's like sometimes castable on 2, sometimes on 3, which is kind of slow, especially in your synthesizer deck that's already kind of like that. But with the tiebreaker being keeping Lurrus' companion, I think it's not even like really much of a convo. But again, sorry, if you disagree with me, I do genuinely encourage you to test it for yourself and just see how it feels, because I'm not always going to be right. I'm in fact not even often not going to be right. So I encourage you to try it out and see what you think. Zax, the 15 months again. Thank you so much. They have Chalice. Oh, it's another artifact deck. Okay. They got a Portable Hole, which is pretty good against us here. Let's go Saga Sword. If they Portable Hole the Sword, I think that's going to be fine. Merc, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Yeah, you can also make an angry TikTok. Yeah, I think they might go after the Squirrel. Yeah, they know they're casting the Portable Hole, but they don't know what they're exiling. Time Sieve Hype to take an extra. Yeah, we comboed off with Time Sieve twice so far today. It's been pretty cool. Wow, that's such a good draw. So we get to go Springleaf Drum, Steam Vents, Anvil. Please don't rebuke my Anvil. I can't mentally take it. Thank you. Suck Sword. Anvil Sword is pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So they're gonna... Okay, hopefully they don't have Urza, but they definitely have it. We can maybe needle the Urza. Could maybe just play through it. We're probably gonna have to. 3 cards, 3 mana. That's a K command, not room. A K command is not a card for this deck where, like, one, in your synthesizer, you can't, like, not playing 3 drops in your synthesizer deck is great. Only having 2 drops makes your synthesizer, sorry for stuttering. I feel like I haven't stuttered in a while. I used to be pretty bad on the stream, to be honest. Let's get an oven. Yeah, but playing 3 drops for your Any Synthesizer deck is not that good. Kolaghan's Command is also like very much a is not a synergistic card. It's a fair card that you play in like mid-range decks. And it's not a card I think that shines in a deck like this. You think Urza subs to spinning? Yeah, but the spinning's like really good here, right? I know it only subs to spinning. Probably important to note that for chat. How do you decide if you run Pithing Needle main or side? So like in the other red black Anvil deck, I don't have main deck Needle because that deck is very much an aggro deck. I've got Galvanic Blast, Shrapnel Blast, Disciple of the Vault, and I'm trying to kill my opponent. And Needle is like not very cohesive for that game plan. But this is like a slower mid-range combo variant, and this version is like more interested in playing a slower game plan. And when that's the case, I usually do like to try to get a card like Needle in the main deck. When it grabs a Shadowspear. This deck you just have by the opponent, that's the game plan. That is plan A. You also have an infinite combo with Time Sieve and Thopter Foundry. Or just, you know, Time Sieve in general. Like, if we draw Time Sieve here, it's like pretty game winning. So that's the combo side of things. They find Nettlecyst off the Smith. They shouldn't be able to play and equip both Nettlecyst and Shadowspear, but I wonder if I should have been like a 5-headed, just needled Shadowspear. Yeah, to win this game, we're probably gonna have to find Time Sieve. We have 2 in the deck. Although they have Portable Hole for the Needle. Yeah, Time Sieve is a 2-mana artifact that lets you tap it, sack 5 artifacts, and take an extra turn. So, you know, theoretically, you can do that over and over again. The fixed time vault. Okay, so we're gonna go sack cat, bring back cat. Soak up 3 damage here, block and sack here. I'm gonna save the token sacrifice here just to trigger the anvil on my turn. If you're not attacking with the cat, it could also trigger like a Ravenous Squirrel. Although, I guess first I'm just going to sack Synthesizer now. Springleaf Drum, not a lot of help. Alright, the goal of this turn is to survive. Well, I guess I don't know. I can't cast a squirrel, unfortunately. If I could cast it, then it maybe buys us a turn. Objective, survive. Be streaming any more Onion Ring anytime soon? I don't know. It's like I've got a lot of Magic stuff to work on, and then I also have like I'm preparing for the trip to Chicago for the energy this weekend. So like I don't think I'm gonna be able to play much. I think that if I did stream any Elden Ring this week, it would really cut into like the quality of the Magic content, and I'm not really willing to be compromising on that. I also played like a decent amount off stream over the weekend, so like if your plan was to follow along with my playthrough, that's already kind of out of the window. Am I going to indie? No. I'm going to play the energy this weekend, then oh, we're super dead. Equip, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I'm gonna play the energy this weekend, then the Hunter Burton the weekend after, and then my birthday weekend is SCG Dallas. So I'll play that as well. And then that's probably gonna be it for a little while for me for paper tournaments. How am I doing Elden Ring? I'm having a really good time with it. I finally found I was having just the hardest time finding upgrade materials for my weapons, but I finally found some. And I'm gonna trim 1 familiar, 1 oven here. I finally found some, and the game has gotten a lot easier. I I switched to the Claymore, and I probably don't want to spoil anything. I'm not gonna say anything else about where I am in the game necessarily for people avoiding spoilers, but I've beaten like a lot of bosses since the last stream, including the one that I was like stuck on at the end of the last time I was streaming it. Am I playing Hunter Burton? Yeah, I'm playing Hunter Burton. Signed up. Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, I ran into an area that was, like, full of upgrade materials, and I'm like, well, I sure wish I had stumbled into this place earlier. Would have saved me a lot of time and suffering. Let's try this hand. It's a little risky-bisky. They come close to being the tutorial boss that's supposed to kill me. I only tried it, like, one time before, like, leveling up and getting a horse to fight it, but also, like, a lot of people have been complaining about lag, right? Lag in the game. That was the only area I experienced lag in, and so I actually had a pretty hard time with the boss because I just kept lagging and dying because I kept getting smacked around, but I haven't had any issues since then. Steezing with 10 months, appreciate you. Like, my second attempt after I'd leveled up, I was very close to killing it. And then I just lagged out and got smacked. It was rough, and then it kept happening. Yeah, I'm playing on PC. I haven't really had any performance issues since then. But maybe they'll start up again. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Same place I had lag. Did you figure out the skulls on the ground? Drop runes. Yes, I did. I did figure that out. Okay, so I can't cast Thopter Foundry this turn. I can get a Springleaf Drum next turn to cast it, though. Looks like it's a Time Sieve combo. It's just like Thopter Foundry plus Time Sieve. Yeah, but you could also just like sometimes value Time Sieve, especially if you have Ravenous Squirrel in play. Yeah, I've got a 3070. Oh, I should have waited on the familiar. So okay, I'm definitely getting Springleaf Drum. I kind of think I should cast the Synthesizer. I really need to find a mana. And there's also like a lot of cards I can cast off of it too. Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, I was thinking I just need to get lucky and find some mana here. I guess all I can do is Oven and Equip. Yeah, not getting to Alpine Moon the Saga obviously hurts a lot. We do it next turn so they can't get a Shadowspear at least. We've been missing the third land drop for Saga so much. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we added 2 lands compared to the red-black Anvil version. We have 22 mana sources in our deck that curves out at 2. It kind of feels just fine to me. But also, like, this deck doesn't even make Saga tokens that often anyways. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to block and sack. Oh, no, I attempted to do the job. Never mind. Okay, so hopefully this resolves. It does think that I still didn't draw land. I can't block and sack anymore. Five cards in their hand. Taking me for 10 right now. Yikes. This deck does have like the double amount of 2 drops. Yeah, I agree. I don't know, we're 2-0 this league. Like, we're stumbling on our mana. It is possible we should add a land, but it's also like very much like the inclination of Twitch chat to see that I'm stumbling on my mana for a game or two and be like, I gotta add lands, when the reality is every single deck you play is gonna stumble on mana from time to time. I really do feel like with 22 mana sources is fine, especially with the 8 cantrips in the deck too. I could be wrong though, absolutely. Okay. There's a land. Got a Nettle Cyst. I think I'm just dead right. I can only put one blocker in play because I have to tap my other blocker to the drum. Oh no, so I can tap Familiar to drum and then chump block with it. So I can get 2 blockers here, which might just be good enough. Even though that curves out of 2, it's pretty mana hungry. Yeah, I mean oh no, sorry, I need to get the freaking swamp to cast the Foundry. Sorry, chat. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Okay, playing against Key here. Let's keep this. Oh, we're playing against Wafa. I just noticed. What's my favorite Pop-Tart flavor? When I was a freshman in college, I ate too many Pop-Tarts to ever eat one again. Should Urza Sagas be counted as full lands? I think so. Where like we have 2 Springleaf Drums, where you get Springleaf Drum off them pretty often. I'm not sure. I do think I want to cut an Urza Saga though. Go down 1 Saga, 1 Time Sieve, plus 2 colored sources. I don't think I want to cut the second Time Sieve. I think it'd be fine too. I just don't think I want to. I think it's important for like the combo big mana matchups, which we haven't played too many of. All right, let me cast the. No, I cast the Anvil. I'd rather. I think it's better to cast Anvil versus a possible counterspell. Obviously, if they have ending, it sucks, but I can at least stack it to itself. Give me a get back with Engineer or Lurrus. But adding Ragavan in here, we've considered it. You can play Ragavan. I generally count Urza Saga as half or quarter mana sources. Yeah, I think that's not how you should necessarily if you're getting drum pretty often. Like even like the turn, like if you're gonna get drum with your Saga, it's like the turn that you Saga, you're getting a lot of mana off of it. Good YOLO synthesizer here. I kind of like it. If we hit a land here, we won't add a land to a deck. If we miss, we'll add one. It's fairy on top. Just got Urza played through Saga before cutting all together. I don't know. I feel like maybe we're getting a little unlucky with their land drops. My opponent also missed a land drop here. They play like 25, 26 lands in their deck. Looks like they've got a counter spell. I think that I'm probably on board for going down -1 Saga, cut the Needle from the main deck, and then add an extra land. I think I'm on board for adding a land. Just infinite. Infinite synthesizers. Never mind, never adding a land. never gonna do it. You can take my spells from my cold, dead hands. This is an Elden Ring, dude. I can't stop thinking about Elden Ring. I'm having so much fun with it. But I'm probably not gonna get to play it all today. Definitely not on stream today. Anvil's pretty good here. Waffle's already missing another land drop, unfortunately for him. Lucky for us, though. Let's see if he has counterspell number 3. Maybe I played Sword this turn, but I think that like playing around counterspell number 3 is maybe not correct. Yeah, the game feels really, really big. I think I'm probably like 15 or 20 hours in. Played a lot this weekend. Yeah, we're gonna sack synthesizer. Let's it go? I don't know what the tank was for there. I'm sure it was for something. Alright, got a squirrel. Does Elden Ring run well on PC? I have a 3070, and I had one issue in the early game where like I was lagging really bad and dying a lot because I couldn't dodge because it was lagging, or it would just like he would just jump up to me, smack me. But I haven't had I haven't really had a single issue since then. Although I will say that like my eyes don't work so good, and I could be experiencing more lag than I realize. But I haven't really felt it. A lot of times, like I'll be watching streams, like like people playing shooters or a game, and then I'll be watching closely, and then they'll be like, "Ah, I'm dropping frames, I'm lagging," and I'm like, I literally can't see what you're seeing. I've never been able. I used to watch Shroud sometimes, and he'd be like, ah, I'm down to like 30 frames, and I'm like, I can see no difference here. I don't. I don't doubt that it's happening. I just can't see it. Don't you have a PS5? I do, but I was streaming Elden Ring, and it was easier to stream it from the PC. Sometimes you can feel the input lag reviews can't see. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You can't because Twitch is capped at 60 FPS. Fair enough. Fair enough. I was always so confused. Isn't the PS5 set up for streaming? It's like a little weird. I was a bit worried about it, to be honest, because my like Wi-Fi connection's not as good as my Ethernet. And so it was either like I'd buy like another super long extension cord, run it through the wall like I've got this other one, or I could just get on the freaking I could just get it on the sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I could just get it on the PC. Guess I should lead on Sword. I feel like there's no way this ever gets countered, though. This hand's gonna be pretty good against counter spells, and I have to think that Wafu has it. If he's gonna tank so long last turn, if he's gonna exile a card with March, especially a good card like Teferi. But both of my cards here are very good against counter spells. How is this list felt for Anvil? Anvil's really good in this deck. It's very good with the Sword of the Meek. Very good with Ravenous Squirrel. Cauldron Familiar triggers the Anvil. It all comes together pretty well. We have a different version that's more of an aggro deck with Galvanic Blast, Shrapnel Blast that we've been playing too. That was kind of the original brew, the original idea for this list. Well, okay, so that one was actually the second version. The first version was like an Asmo cookbook list that was much worse, but it led to the good Anvil list. And now this is a more experimental version with the Thopter Foundry Engineer package and a couple Time Sieves. I'm not enjoying the early open world area game. Is there parts of the game later that have more intricate level designs like other games? Yeah, I've definitely run into some areas that are more. Yeah, yes. There's lots of dungeons. I just recently finished one area that felt like very classic Dark Souls level design. Yeah, the first castle was huge. It was so big. Does it feel awkward not being able to Squirrel? We have 2 Springleaf Drum to activate Squirrel. It doesn't come up that often either. It has come up sometimes though. Ooh, steal the Squirrel, which I think is fine. So let's go attack with Familiar, Springleaf Drum, Thopter Foundry, and then I'm going to reset the cat so that I can activate, oh, I guess I don't need to reset it now. I can just do it all end of turn. I'm trying to think if there's anything instant speed. There's March of Otherworldly Light. Yeah, we'll play around March. Then Time Sieve might be great next turn. Might be unnecessary. Yeah, I actually did Castle of Morn first. I found that one first. Okay, show you current version of Stoneblade. You can find that on Stream Decker, on Twitter, and there's also should be a Channel Fireball guide coming out today or tomorrow for it. You can type !Dex to find the Stream Decker, !Twitter for Twitter, and type in Channel Fireball to Google. Does a class you pick at the start lock you into one playstyle? No. I intentionally picked a Dex-based class. A class that had leveled into Dex and Mind, knowing that I was gonna probably just do a strength build anyways because the starting class looked cool, and which was definitely a handicap going into it, but the class looked pretty cool. So that's what we did. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sack the Foundry to itself. So I can get it back with an Engineer or Lurrus. So if I cast Time Sieve, I can sack Sword, token. I think I'm just gonna cast Time Sieve, and I think Wafu's gonna counter it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, Wretch is like probably the best class if you don't know what you want, because you start at the lowest level. So you can level exactly how you want after you get a feel for it. What did he pitch to the March? Another Solitude. Yeah, so it's like token, sword, synthesizer, food token from the oven. Attack first. Well, if I attack with I guess I could attack with the sword, the Thopter. But I was also like pretty confident that Wafu was going to counter here. So I think I just actually go for Lurrus here, since like the time sieve extra turn is less powerful, but I'm not going to probably get a card off Synthesizer. So I think I should just get the Lurrus here. Are my Elden Ring streams as good as my MTG streams? No. Just like everybody else streaming Elden Ring, I'm just like kind of stumbling through it. But I am having fun. And I'm also like, you know, probably not going to do many more Elden Ring streams. But we'll see. Okay, so let's go cast Time Sieve, number 2 from hand. And then if this resolves, that's going to mean that Wafu is holding a counterspell for Lurrus, and I'll just cast Ravenous Squirrel. Oh, I forgot to Cat Oven last turn. Oh, did I? Yeah, I think I forgot to Cat Oven. But then I'm going to cast a Squirrel. Sack here. And then we can go sack 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I should actually leave the. I should probably leave the flying token and sack the drum instead. So let me go tap drum for black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counters on the squirrel. Oh wait, I forgot to sack the synthesizer. No, I sacked the oven and not the synthesizer. No! It's not what I meant to do. Oh, no. Well, that's a lot worse. It's a lot worse for me. It's okay. Not the end of the world. Reinforced Rodent is not festival of Saga because it costs a red, not a colorless. Yeah, daily morning misclick. It's okay. Go to our next turn. Anvil's a pretty good draw. Let me just attack first. Wafu's already played 3 counter spells into Charm, so I think it is somewhat likely that this resolves. Nope. Okay, pass back. Slams Verdict, then we get to Lurrus. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Lurrus, get back Oven. So if when they go to kill Lurrus, I can sack Lurrus, get a food, get back Familiar, get back Sword. Silver Eris Slime seems really cool in Seismic Assault. Yeah, I mean that's been a thing. It's been done. It's pretty cool. There we've seen some lists that seem fine. I think this is lethal, right? 3, yeah. Attack for 2, then Cat Oven next turn. Okay. So against blue-white control, I want to cut the Shadowspear and the Needle. And I probably want to cut at least the second Time Sieve. For at least 3 Thoughtseize. I kind of like to get the fourth Thoughtseize in there, though. Probably cut a Drum. Or no, let me cut a Saga. Let me cut a Saga. I think Synthesizer will play in a Prowl style deck. I think without artifact synergies, it's pretty tough. Like, I don't know. I don't like. Synthesizer is great, but you need to be playing like ways to sack it, and I think you need to be playing artifact synergies too. Cut one cat. I think I'd rather just cut a Saga. We'll use the rest and be right back. Okay, panned out the 21 months. Let's go. I could probably keep this hand. Obviously needs some help. Yes, yeah, streaming with Esther was definitely really fun the other day. Yeah, she's been liking backseat, doing some backseat gaming. I played some Elden Ring. It's been fun. Chain with the 12 months. Appreciate ya. We should actually cut a land. What do you guys think? Spike, how could you mischaracterize what we want? It's the Ramen Wreck. Yeah, that place is really good. I usually get the Tonkatsu, but they also have a different one called Dracula's Bane, which is it's the most garlicky thing I've ever had. But it was pretty good too. I had that last time I went. Yeah, I totally understand people not wanting to join the Elden Ring streams because of spoilers. Totally get it. I'm like, I haven't been watching a lot of the streamers I usually watch because I try to stay somewhat spoiler free, but I kind of like pop in, I see a boss I've never seen before, I'm like, holy shit, that thing is crazy looking, and then I leave. Should you prefer Red Black Anvil or Grixis? I think that the Red Black one is very good, tried and true. This one's more experimental. Like a lot of the idea behind like this build, dude, we should definitely be cutting a land from deck. A lot of the idea behind we're gonna have one. A lot of the ideas behind this version though are like how good is like the Engineer Shell. Anvil plays really well with Thopter Sword. This version is definitely like slower and grindier, but does a lot of powerful things that can be hard to interact with. But I think the red-black version is probably going to end up being the better. Draken with the 7 months. Appreciate ya. Don't fetch lands, pump squirrels. No, only lands or artifacts being sacked pump squirrels. If fetch lands pump squirrel, squirrel would be like, you would see that card like just way more often. Tomato with the Tomato Bisque. 5 months. Appreciate ya. How do you like the open world stuff so far? I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I think I'm really enjoying it. Like, there's definitely like a lot of like, oh, I really wish I had found an area with upgrade material sooner. And there's definitely a lot of like wandering into an area where you just get killed. But I'm having a good time. Okay. Well, chat keeps asking, what are we gonna do about Stony Silence? And I guess we're gonna find out now, hopefully. The first time we've played against the Stony Silence since Neon Dynasty, and it's pretty scary here. And we're also like very flooded. Yeah, I also haven't crafted anything. Yeah, it's finally happened. No, we're not playing any green lands in this version. Okay, Solitude, Pitch Ending, Exile Construct. They go down to 12. 4 cards in their hand. Main Phage Deluge. Likely looking for a second white source. Yeah, we have 2 Springleaf Drum for Squirrel. I guess that's, you know, yeah, if we had a, you know, green land would be good here. I think in the 3-color version, it's not really doable. Did Wafu not find a white source? I guess not. Yeah, let me actually play Thopter Foundry instead of going for Lurrus, since Thopter Foundry means my opponent's on a two-turn clock, theoretically. This is Grafdigger's Cage to viable modern. It's really good against specifically Yawgmoth. Yeah, there's the land. Hard to imagine winning now against 4 cards in hand. Play it out. Never mind. Game 3. So hopefully we can either Thoughtseize, Stony Silence, or kind of dodge it. I guess I should play this 4th Saga, because that is also going to be a way we can beat Stony. And I'll cut a drum. Maybe cut a Time Sieve. Let's cut a Time Sieve. Aether Spellbomb to solve some of these things. Spellbomb only bounces creatures. Would a one of Fetus Storm be good in the sideboard? I don't think that card. I think that card's just very weak in general. I don't like it very much now. Don't that land? I think I do. Let's resolve the Oven this turn. The next turn we can go for Thoughtseize. I think I want to wait a turn on Thoughtseize to have the best chance of hitting Rest in Peace Stony Silence. Let me actually bauble myself first. Chalice of the Void, Rest in Peace, Rest in Peace. Spreading Seas. Guess I'm taking Chalice. So, how is Rest in Peace? Yeah, Rest in Peace is very good against this version. I don't know. They've got 3 lock pieces. Take the L, probably. Yikes. Scroll's interesting. Yeah, the Scroll's not really getting the job done. Take all the value I can get. Hope Wafu misses lands. Probably my best bet. Hand is Charm, Spreading Sea, second Rest in Peace to Fairy, 2 mystery cards. The Grixis version with Whir and Counter Magic Improvise possibly be viable. I consider building the deck to be a bit bigger with Urza. You lose Synthesizer, though, is kind of the issue I have. Synthesizer, I think, is pretty weak in a variant like that. Could someone explain the 4th Thopter Foundry needs to go infinite without Urza? I can see 1 or 2, but mostly seems like a worse Anvil. Well, it gives you redundancy with Anvil. With 4 Engineers and 2 Swords, you're going to have access to a sword for your Thopter Foundry really often. It also does go infinite with Time Sieve. I think you're probably... It's Sack Synthesizer. I think it's just a good card in the deck. You want to draw it pretty often. Come on. Alright, fine. I think I'll take my own advice of just lose. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. They do have Archreach's Charm for the first token. How does Time Sieve go infinite? If you have Thopter Sword going, you just make 5 Thopters, take an extra turn, make 5 Thopters, take an extra turn. Oh yeah, they have Spreading Seas. Why no Oven Cat in response to Stony? Well, there's a Rest in Peace in play, so I don't know if you missed that I wasn't cat ovening before too, but there's a Rest in Peace in play. At some point you get 6 tokens. Yeah, you're taking infinite turns. You just play 1 more land and eventually be making a token eventually, right? No Verdict, maybe get there. Yeah, we didn't see Verdict in hand. Does have Archmage's Charm. We Thoughtseize in this game. Okay, steals a cat. Which is so good, so good. I can't get through the 2-3. Alright, whatever, we're gonna lose. No more copium, just lose 5-head. We want Scrap Welder and Thought Monitor. Do we want it or you want it? Alright. Not sure, but probably just red black. Could also be Jund Saga. I'm going to play Squirrel, but I'm going to wait to select the Bauble till turn 2 to trigger Anvil. If Spire's your only land, no. If you have Spire Saga, you would keep Spire Saga. You'd probably keep that hand. If Spire. I mean, if you have 2 Spires or Spire Saga, you're gonna mulligan a lot of hands that you would keep if the Spire were literally any other land. I want your brain to work on it to do spicy things. I mean, I do nothing but spicy things, or I guess not nothing, but I do. This is spice. So my opponent Inquisitions me. I think I'm probably supposed to pop the Bauble because I can't cast the Thopter Foundry next turn. Assuming that they take the Anvil, I guess they might not, but they should. Did I 5-0 with this deck? I 5-0 with the red-black version. This is a new variant. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think that was the wrong call for them. They have their own Saga on top. We 2-0'd Jund Saga earlier today. Interesting draw. Broke with 5 months. 2 free for the bean, indeed. Rin and 6. Okay, we know they have a Saga to play, so they might just be pinging. I can at least sack for a drain. So I gotta change my music. Text me for 3, down to 12. Play Saga, I assume. Interesting. Start off with the Synthesizer, I think. It's like a little greedy to do this, but I think I need to get the token. I need to trigger the Squirrel, I think, this turn too. Got some good hits as well. Time Sieve was not one of the good hits. I think I'm supposed to play the Tarn too instead of the Saga. But that could also be wrong. They get back Mire. 3 cards in their hand. Have I made a Samurai yet? It's about Magic or Elden Ring? Because I heard Samurai was like the best way to cheese the tutorial boss. Oh, of the Synthesizer. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I forgot this made a Samurai. Yeah, it doesn't come up that often, but it does come up every once in a while. Please no Elden Ring spoilers. Okay, yeah, that was maybe a bit over the line, huh? Over the line. It's a pretty good draw. So we're gonna go Saga, Engineer. Send both at the Rin and 6. Thank you, sweetheart. Got deck tech for goalie. Can you post a link in the chat? For science, please rank, not a deck. Rank what I enjoy most. Hold on. Playing and brewing MTG. From software games, D&D, watching anime, hat shopping for streams. I don't know. My favorite thing's gotta be playing and brewing D&D. It's like just by far the most like rewarding thing that I do. And then probably D&D, and then FromSoft, and then anime, and then hat shopping. Because I most like to stumble into hats I like rather than spend time shopping. Think of it, $10. Beazle the Twitch Prime, Elder Jeep Game with the 4 months. Thank you so much. Anvil will make a great tattoo. I think so too. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so yeah, I love to say the wrong. Yeah, say one thing and mean another. It's my favorite thing to do. All right, no main deck Needle, please. No main deck Needle. I guess he still triggers sometimes. Okay, just Shadowspear him. Nihil Sword enters, second sword, get back up, second token entering. Yeah, you can. That was maybe better. Hadn't really considered that interaction, I guess. Yeah, assuming this lives, we do get to Thopter Foundry. I mean, easy double block, right? Don't know what I'm missing here. Cool. I think I'm not supposed to sack anything to the anvil here. Then we go. Sacks. Target Thopter Foundry, sacking sword. Then the anvil triggers, brings the sword back. Get a swamp, and then I could make my tokens now to play around Assassin's Trophy or Beseiju. So I think that probably makes sense. Why don't I get the free token with Anvil? Anvil only triggers on your turn and only triggers once. Anvil will be too good if it triggered on your opponent's turn or triggered multiple times a turn. I guess I can leave this last activation up actually. Your report green-black's still bad, yeah. Maybe you could play a different deck at the Hunterbird Matthew instead of just jamming Infect, but I know that's what you want to play, which is fine. No, I've never played Overwatch. It's always been a game I've kind of wanted to try, but just into other stuff at the time. Oh, sorry. You have time? I need to sack this to Anvil, okay. Yeah, Anvil's like a Bitter Blossom, but it drains for one instead of losing one every turn. It's not exactly that, but it can also trigger the turn it comes down too, unlike Bitter Blossom, which is huge. Opinion on my recent ban deck with March. I really like that deck. I'm pretty heavily considering playing it in Chicago this weekend. Okay, rest in peace, Goblin Engineer. Last resort. Okay, we can talk about it. Let's go for a triple block. Don't want a quadruple block because I get blown up by a removal spell a little bit harder. The last resort is just hammer. Probably should have guessed. Okay. Tap drawing. Another Saga's not too bad, huh? Make a token. Remember, Needle Ridden 6? No, let's Needle Shadowspear. Yeah, let's Needle Shadowspear. And then I can kill the Ridden 6. Got bought up by Margit. Yeah, I finally beat Margit. Hope that's not a spoiler. Okay, so we can go sack sword here. This is a new trick someone in chat pointed out just now. So with the anvil triggers on the stack, you probably want to like sack your swords each time, just to make sure that you can get free value out of the anvil. And then we can go Saga Lurrus in hand. This matchup seemed pretty good. We beat Jun Saga earlier. I think you're pretty good against these kinds of decks. Worse against the Stony Silence Rest in Peace deck. When the black red lists overrun 1/2 swords. Well, I think the thing is like, if you're playing sword, you probably want engineer, right? If you want to play sword and engineer, you want Thopter Foundry, then you want Time Sieve. So, you know, the black red deck is also very much an aggro deck, while this version is very much more of a mid range, grindy combo deck, and so I think it's probably better to like make sure that you stay in your archetype rather than I'm trying to think what we want to do here. Yeah, I think it's good to try to, again, stay in your archetype rather than try to get the most value possible. Where again, the red-black version, very much aggro deck. I think it's good to stay as an aggro deck. Okay, that's fine. Let's attack with our Thopters. Then let's go sack sword. You don't want to auto yield here, since we're going to respond to the triggers. All right, pass back. This deck be good against Grixis Shadow. I think so. Yeah, I think we played against it earlier in one. Okay, so we played this matchup earlier. I boarded in 2 moons, the Nihil Spellbomb, cutting the Time Sieves, and then I think I cut either a Springleaf Drum or the Shadowspear. Yeah, I think this is how this is how I sideboarded earlier. Let's stick with it. Nihil Spellbomb definitely won us a game earlier today. Think Hijutsu Saga is bad in Modern? I don't think it's bad. I think that, like, however, like, most of the black-red decks would rather be playing 1-mana permanents and graveyard payoffs than play Second Right. Or, sorry, Last Reckoning. Whatever the card's called. Hijutsu's something. It is possible that there's, like, you know, I've seen some people play it in, like, the Zoo decks. It's probably fine there. Those, like, specifically the Magic Aids list, and then I was kind of like thinking this morning, like, could we do a Grixis control deck with Hijutsu's whatever card? And it's like so many of the Grixis payoffs are like Drown to Lock, Kroxa, Ragavan, Dragon Rage's Channeler. I don't know that there's like a really good home for it in like a Grixis Fair Shell. But I might keep looking, right? Played in Domain, yeah. It seems okay there. Those lists I was talking about. But, you know, just it definitely has, like, pretty heavy deck building restrictions, right? I mean, I'm not a big Magic Aids fan either, but let's not, you know, talk shit about other content creators. And if we're going to talk about his deck list, I like to, you know, not just ignore him. Oko 7 months, appreciate you. So does responding triggers Anvil actually trigger the Anvils twice? It doesn't, no, but useful, like, with Anvil, you want to make sure that you can, like, just, like, sack an artifact for value every turn if you can. That's what that accomplishes. Okay, turn 2 Delirium. Probably taking the Thopter Foundry, right? You ever play Valorant? I haven't played Valorant. I have played other shooters. I used to be like pretty into Apex Legends and some Call of Duties every once in a while. I'll get into one of them. It's been a while though since I've really been into a Call of Duty though. I guess I'm gonna try to block the channeler here. I was into PUBG for a little bit back in the early days. I'm also like I think I was okay at Apex, but I'm not like very good at shooters. Will Pop for 5 months, appreciate you. Who's my favorite legend in Apex? So I haven't really played in like I played a ton when it first came out. I remember I played a lot of Lifeline, and I liked the robot guy. The robot guy was cool. I like the grapple hook. But I think I was like the most competitive at Lifeline. I had the most fun with the robot guy. I played Wraith every once in a while. Sorry, I'm listening to some like electronic remix, and there's like a drop in the music and someone's like whispering in my ear. It's really weird. There was like one other character I like to play. I can't remember. It's been so long. But I played it like every day for like 2 or 3 months. This was before I was even streaming, or like around the time I was starting. Probably it was before. It was before. They did find their extra land. Let's play Thopter Foundry Squirrel. I play Team Fortress 2 very casually, but yeah. Alright, Runner lands. Do you ever wish my stream had blown up in a different era of MTG? That would be like the greediest wish anybody would ever make. My stream is quite popular now, but I wish I was more popular earlier. I mean, I don't know, like the reality is like Magic streams have not like really been like a hit on Twitch for very long, you know what I mean? Like a lot of other people paved the way, so like I would have a chance to like for that, you know, Yellow Hat and Caleb especially. I feel like without like them bringing people to like watch Magic online, there never would have really been a chance for me to become popular. Yeah, Newmont, I'm sorry. There's lots of people. There's lots of people. I don't, you know. Yeah, Newmont, Reed. Yeah. Saffron Olive, Hoogland. You know, I'm sure I don't want to forget anybody. I don't want to, you know, not give credit where credit's due, but you know, it's a community, right? Like nobody is like, you know, the category is held together by a lot of different people, and more people streaming is, you know, good for the category in my opinion too. So I can make a token and equip. I think I'm just gonna Alpine Moon, make a token. I don't want this to get discarded. Did I try Saffron Olive's Anvil list? Saffron Olive played an Anvil list? That was 75 cards, exactly the same as my list. Interesting. Oh, you appreciate Magic players? Name every streamer. Oh yeah, the Cheon is a huge influence on Magic streams too. A big influence on me. Like I personally don't think I ever would have started to stream without just like loving Cheon. Yeah, I miss Cheon streams. Or about either streams on YouTube? No. No, I don't know. I mean, going back and watching your early streams has got to be pretty embarrassing too. Or at least like a little bit. There's a lot of growing pains, a lot of improving, we'll say. So I needle the Nihil Spellbomb? I could get my own Nihil Spellbomb. I think I'll needle the Nihil Spellbomb. And I can go Oni-Cult Anvil. Can go Anvil, sack Sword to get a token, sack the token to Oven, get back get back cat, get back sword. Oh, I guess the sword just comes back to the anvil token actually. So so yeah, doing this now grows the constructs by 1. Any plans to revisit Fiddlebender? Actually, I almost played it today. The thing is, it's like I want to play the deck, but it's also like playing Fiddlebender. All that really is I add a Lion Sash over like a Nettle Cyst or another card, and the deck's just not that interesting. It's just not that new. Play after this. We're gonna make some changes to this list and run it back for the next league. Maybe we play something else after that though. But I'm having a good time with this. Mardu Fiddlebender with Oven. I mean, this is something I just like have to say constantly, is that the best thing about Fiddlebender is the ability to just be one color. And so like, well, you could splash red. I don't know why we're Mardu, but you could splash red. But just, yeah, but being one color is really the biggest deal in the Fiddlebender deck. And like, I think if you're gonna be like, if you want to be a multicolor artifact value pile, there's better ways to do it than playing Fiddlebender. Yeah. I agree. This deck is pretty sick. I don't think it's necessarily better than the red-black version, but it's interesting enough for us to. I think it's good and interesting, which is definitely the kind of deck I want to be playing. And all right, so we're gonna bauble ourselves here, which is gonna trigger the anvil, and then we can see how we want to engage with this synthesizer. We can spend 3 mana to make a samurai, or we can go Lurrus in hand. I think I'll just make a samurai. So I think they might needle my oven. So should I sack my construct first? I think no. We can just let them needle the oven. We have plenty of things to needle here. We need to sack sword first. No. We could sack the sword first, yeah. I guess it would have been better because we just guarantee that we get value off of it. You're right. Just missed the damage. Well, we still get the damage, unless they needle us. They get Shadowspear. So you know what, the 23 months? Appreciate you. Came here for Blinking Avalanche Riders. Yeah, that deck was really sick. It was like such a different format back then, though. Okay. So take 6. Down to 1. I guess I could have gained 2 life first. But it doesn't really change just being dead to lightning bolt either way. So we go sack Sword of Meek. Sack here. And we're attacking for 4 next turn. I think I want to attack the Bauble, even though I'm making my squirrel smaller. I don't think we can present lethal. We got some outs maybe. 10 with the 23, Luis with the 21. I know MTG Room Time, but have I liked Elden Ring? I've really liked Elden Ring so far. And Slowbro with the 22, the Taylor Swift month. I must not be enough of a Taylor Swift fan to... Oh, I'm feeling 22. Yeah. I got it. Okay, so let's go Squirrel. I think that we can survive here. Squirrel, sack sword, drain for 1. All right, we should be fine. Yeah, it turns out I was enough of a Taylor Swift fan after all. Fran, you've become a Twitch chatter. You've become the very thing you swore to destroy. A member of Twitch chat. 2 cards in their hand. No attacks, baby. Ravenous Squirrel too big. We 3-2 this league. Pretty exciting. We got smashed by Wafu with all the hate pieces. The deck definitely feels powerful and promising, and we are going to make a couple changes and run it back. I think we're gonna cut the 4th Saga from the main deck, and then we're gonna move the Needle to the sideboard. I think we're gonna cut the 2nd Lantern, and then we're gonna go ahead and add 2 more colored sources. So I'm kind of interested in adding a fetch land and a fetchable, or it could be potentially good to go up to the second Darkslick Shores, 3rd Blackcleave Cliffs. Maybe one more maybe just one more fetch land, 1 more shores. I kind of like that. But just everybody is so prepared for Saga, and like a lot of times like your Sagas are not even making tokens in this deck anyways. We could potentially play 3rd Springleaf Drum too. We could play 3rd Springleaf Drum over the extra land. I think I want the extra land. But Springleaf Drum is pretty good here. Yeah, let's do...